Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Fish Friday number 151 and we have a good and interesting one for you here today. Today's fish is a fish that many people have so many misconceptions about, even if they've even heard of this fish. It is a really neat fish, and please go do extra research on this fish and the group of fish that this belongs to. Today's fish that we're going to be talking about is, bam, the spotted ratfish. Now, the spotted ratfish, or scientific name Hydrolagus colei, again, that's Hydrolagus colei. It is part of the family of Chimeridae, which is a family of chimeras. Now, a lot of people would look at this fish and think that's a shark, related to the sharks. While it is slightly related to the sharks, it is actually completely different. These are soft-bodied shark-like fish. They do have a cartilaginous skeleton, but they have a really bulky head compared to most other sharks, and they have this really long tapered tail. This long and tapered tail like this. Sorry about that. I'm getting spam calls because spam calls. So, yeah, I'm very sorry about that. Let me put this phone on silent. Now, in terms of the spotted ratfish, these are very common in the northeastern Pacific Ocean. Think from Alaska down to California. And they are traditionally thought of as a deep water fish. But that's actually not always the case. These fish can be really found anywhere from 0 to 913 meters, which is 0 to 2,995 feet. So you have a very wide range that you can find these. They're most commonly found between 50 and 400 meters, which is about 160 to 1,300 feet in depth. But that's not to say that you can't find these shallower. Many pictures of this fish are taken by divers. Sometimes they are shallow enough that divers will see them. Usually they're seen more at night than during the day, but you still can find them. So when people who know about this fish or have a general conception about this fish look at this and they think, oh, that is super deep water, and it definitely can be. That's definitely not always the case. Now, you definitely find these more often on the sea floor, but with all sorts of bottoms: sandy bottoms, muddy bottoms, rocky bottoms, reef bottoms, you can see right here. But they are predominantly found almost right at the seafloor, and that has a lot to do with their morphology and with their dentition and things like this. Or not dentition, sorry, their feeding habits. Sorry. Now, this is a small fish. The females can get up to about 97 centimeters, which is about 38 inches, but they get much bigger than the males. I couldn't find direct statistics, but I seem to remember at one point a long time ago, I heard that the males are traditionally around 45% smaller than the females. That is not a hard number. That is just a number that popped in my head that I swear I heard somewhere before. So, who knows? Now, you can look at this fish and, I definitely have to give credit to this Andy Murch person from sharksandrays.com. If you look up spotted ratfish, this guy has taken some insanely good pictures of the spotted ratfish. A lot of pictures, actually. So, congratulations to Mr. Andy Murch. You've taken some of the best pictures I have ever seen, especially of underwater creatures. But it has this sort of duckbill snout. You can kind of tell it a little bit here. It's kind of like a duckbill snout. But if you look at it from the front, you really see like kind of a rabbit face. Let's see if we can find a good picture. If you kind of look at it from the front, maybe not that. That definitely looks duck. Well, right here, I don't know if this is actually a spotted ratfish, but you can kind of see, I don't know, I see the rabbit, not everyone sees the rabbit here, but they do have sort of like a rabbitish feature to it. Rabbit-esque? Not sure on that one. But they do have this smooth, scaleless skin. Unlike sharks, they do not have those little denticles on their skin. These are very smooth, very smooth fish. And they have this sort of silvery bronze to brown coloration with a little bit paler on the other side. And what's interesting, if you kind of look right here, that they're traditionally thought of as having these sort of sparkles, whether it's gold, blue, green. They almost look like glitter has been pushed into their skin. It's really interesting. This one, if you take a look at it, it does actually look like it has more of that glitter. To me, it looks like glitter anyway, but very fine glitter that's been like pushed into the skin. It's a little hard to tell, but one of the distinguishing characteristics, I'm assuming this is because of the flash, but when you see these outside of there, they have this sort of like emerald green eye, and that's pretty diagnostic from what I understand of these spotted ratfish. Of course, they have these white spots right here. I mean, that was a given. Spotted ratfish, it's got spots, so I'm not going to go into them. It has spots, little white spots. Now, they do have these very large triangular pectoral fins right here, and that is because chimeras actually sort of fly through the water. They use their pectoral fins as their main form of propulsion, and so they are flying. As they swim, they'll even do like barrel rolls and corkscrew turns just like planes do, just as if they're flying. I'm sorry, I guess I lost some frames right there. But so they have this real, you know, flying sort of movement pattern. They have these this whip-like tail that I mentioned. Very, you know, chimeras are actually very distinct. Telling them apart is very difficult, but they're actually very distinct. They are an ovoviviparous species, meaning they're laying eggs, just like sharks. They're laying those egg cases. Some people have found these egg cases, mistaken them for trash. I don't exactly know what their egg cases look like, but it's fairly common, and you find the mermaid's purses, if you've heard of that. But what is interesting to note that chimeras actually exhibit fairly often secondary sexual characteristics, especially on the males. They have paired pelvic claspers, so underneath their sort of pelvic fins, they'll have these pelvic claspers that allow them to grab and insert into the female. They have this one real neat thing though, and it's called a cephalic clasper, or a frontal tentaculum. There you go, a frontal tentaculum, which is this thing right here. It's actually a retractable organ, meaning you may not always see it, but they can do it. And the reasoning for this is it's another way for them to help hold on to females. They will, this has a lot of spikes, very short, very sharp barbs in there. What it is the clasper will clamp down on the pectoral fin of the female and just grab onto it using that, or just like hang on while they're doing this. They're really interesting. Basically, they're being drugged by a flexible horn as they are trying to mate. Yeah, it's super bizarre. I should have also mentioned right here, if you can see right here, these chimeras are known for having a very thick, sturdy spine in their dorsal fin. They are venomous, but they are not of particular danger to humans. They can be, don't get me wrong, but their venom is not the reasoning. They're more just in danger from getting severe damage from this spine. And they have been known to kill harbor seals and other things that have eaten them, not from the venom itself, but because they'll tear up the esophagus from just the sturdiness, thickness, and the sharpness of this dorsal spine. Wanted to mention that. But now for the interesting fact that we're going to end the video on, and it actually has to do with their dentition, how they eat. So these fish are going along the bottom eating tunicates, crabs, things like this, you know, bottom dwelling. That's why they're always found on the bottom. That's where their food source is. But although their jaws are relatively soft and they have relatively small mouths, they actually have an incredibly large bite force. These things can bite excessively hard and are very good at having jaw leverage. And if you look right here, you can see, unlike sharks, they do not have actual replaceable teeth. They have 6 tooth plates that are arranged in 3 pairs, a pair at the lower jaws and 2 pairs along the upper jaws, and this is giving them their kind of beak-like crushing and grinding. And one of the reasons why I talked about the rabbit face, and if you think about the name, their genus that this fish is found in, Hydrolagus. Hydro means water. A lot of people know that. Hydrophobia, things like this. Hydro actually means water. Lagus is actually a Greek term for rabbit. So this is a water rabbit. And one of the reasons why is because the teeth are very comparable to the teeth of rodents and other lagomorphs, which are your rabbits and things like this. So rabbits and rodents have a very interesting teeth. Boom. Well, hold on. That was not a good search right there. Rabbit skull. There we go. That's not a rabbit. That's okay, kind of right here. That's a rabbit. Anyway, so they're having what happens is rabbits and rodents actually have their incisors, what they're clipping with, those teeth will actually grind and self-sharpen, and that's very similar to what these fish are doing. So these fish are not replaceable. They have these dental plates right there, and they have nothing else. They do not get replaced, and they mineralize much more similarly to how we do. They have unique chemical and mineral structures in there that are the reasoning for their hardness. I'm not a mineralogist or a chemical biologist, so please go check them out if you're interested. There's numerous papers on the dentition of chimeras. They're really cool. I just feel like that may be too much to get into a short introductory video like this. But once again, thank you, Mr. Andy Murch. These are incredible pictures, and if you see this video, I'm all for it. Bravo. That's all I can say. Bravo. Amazing pictures. But regardless, thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe. Have a great day. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you do, I'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. The amount of support on the channel has just been absolutely amazing. If you'd like to support the channel even more, please click the link down below. It is by no means expected, but very much appreciated if you do. Regardless, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and peace.